On December 30, 2025, the global economic order was rocked as the BRICS nations imposed a sweeping 100% tariff on all U.S. imports. This move instantly doubled the price of American goods for over half the world's population. It's not just a policy tweak, it's economic warfare. The expanded BRICS bloc, now including Saudi Arabia, Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia, Indonesia, and the UAE, is flexing its collective muscle. Their unified action challenges decades of U.S. dominance in global trade. Every sector of the American economy, from Midwest farmers to Silicon Valley tech giants, will feel the sting. U.S. products are now uncompetitive in these booming markets, threatening catastrophic export losses. The BRICS statement frames the tariffs as a defensive response to U.S. coercion and unilateralism. This is a direct message. The era of unquestioned U.S. economic leadership is ending. The world is watching Washington's next move. The BRICS Plus coalition now controls a massive share of global GDP and energy resources. Their decision marks a historic turning point in the global balance of power. The U.S. faces a challenge unlike any in recent memory. The rules of global trade are being rewritten fast. A new, multipolar economic world is here. The BRICS tariff wasn't a snap decision, it's the result of years of rising trade tensions. The trigger: President Trump's threat to slap extra tariffs on any nation siding with BRICS. BRICS leaders saw this as economic bullying and a direct attack on their sovereignty. For years, they've accused Washington of using its power and the dollar to dictate global terms. Trump's own threat of a 100% tariff on BRICS in 2024 has now boomeranged. Instead of deterring them, it united them. By adopting the very weapon Trump threatened, BRICS is signaling it won't be intimidated. It's a high-stakes gamble. BRICS is betting the pain for the U.S. will outweigh their own losses. Their economies rely on trade too, but they see this as a necessary stand for a fairer global system. Short-term pain, they hope, will bring long-term gain. The message: BRICS will not be pushed around. The global trading system is at a crossroads. The world is watching to see who blinks first. The roots of this crisis lie in President Trump's revived America First trade doctrine. Since returning to office, Trump has unleashed a wave of tariffs, some as high as 50%, targeting countries he claims undermine U.S. industry. In April 2025, he announced sweeping new tariffs, giving nations a brief window to negotiate exemptions. Those who failed faced harsh penalties starting August 1st. The administration's goal: protect American jobs and revive domestic manufacturing. Critics warn this protectionism raises prices and invites retaliation. Trump's team, led by Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, insists disruption is worth it for a stronger, self-reliant America. The U.S. has shifted from championing free trade to wielding tariffs as leverage. Allies and rivals alike are scrambling to adapt. The world's trading system is being upended. The stakes have never been higher. BRICS is no longer just a club for emerging economies, it's a global powerhouse. With new members like Egypt, Indonesia, and Saudi Arabia, BRICS Plus now rivals the G7 in economic weight. The bloc commands vast energy resources and a huge consumer market. By adding major oil producers, BRICS gains leverage over global energy and the US dollar's dominance. Many joined BRICS to escape the grip of Western-led institutions like the IMF and World Bank. The new development bank offers loans without Western strings attached. BRICS Plus is now a coordinated force challenging U.S. influence head-on. Their 100% tariff move is proof of newfound unity. The unipolar era is over, multipolarity has arrived. The global balance of power is shifting fast. BRICS Plus is now a pole the world can't ignore. The U.S. faces a formidable rival. The BRICS tariffs will hammer the U.S. economy. Exports will plunge as American goods become unaffordable in key markets. Sectors like agriculture, tech, autos, and aerospace face devastating losses. Job cuts and factory closures are likely. Supply chains will be disrupted, raising costs for U.S. companies. BRICS nations will also feel pain: higher prices for U.S. tech and machinery, and lost access to American brands. But the bloc hopes its vast internal market will soften the blow. Both sides risk recession if the trade war drags on. The world economy could fracture into rival blocs, reversing decades of globalization. The IMF and WTO have warned, this is a worst-case scenario. Global prosperity is at risk. The stakes are global, not just national. The world stands on the brink. The US BRICS trade war has left other nations scrambling. The UK's recent trade deal with the US now looks shaky as it tries to balance ties with both sides. Vietnam, under pressure, accepted a lopsided deal favoring the US, a sign of Washington's hardball tactics. China's partial truce with the US has been upended by the new BRICS tariffs, freezing relations again. The EU faces a tough choice: yield to US demands or risk a trade war with its biggest partner. All are caught between two giants, trying to avoid collateral damage. Negotiated truces are fragile, the ground keeps shifting. Smaller nations are forced into tough compromises. The global trading system is fragmenting. No one is immune from the fallout. The world's economic map is being redrawn. Allies and rivals alike are hedging their bets. The uncertainty is unprecedented. The Trump administration's response? Defiance. Trump calls the BRICS move desperate, vowing America will emerge stronger. Treasury and commerce officials insist the US won't be blackmailed and has contingency plans. They point to recent deals with the UK and Vietnam as proof their strategy works. The official line: the US economy is resilient enough to weather the storm. Behind the scenes, though, concern is mounting in Washington. No administration has faced a challenge of this scale. Economists are scrambling to assess the damage. Pressure is mounting from businesses and consumers. The stakes, political and economic, couldn't be higher. The BRICS tariff shock sent global markets into a tailspin. Stocks plunged from New York to Shanghai as investors fled uncertainty. US markets, already lagging, took a heavy hit. Investors are moving away from US assets, fearing deeper losses. The tariffs threaten the global supply chains that power modern industry. For many sectors, especially high-tech, there's no quick fix. US companies face soaring costs for critical components and closed markets abroad. Bankruptcies and layoffs loom as businesses warn of disaster. The era of just-in-time, globalized supply chains may be over. Companies are now prioritizing resilience over efficiency at great cost. Consumers will pay higher prices. The trade war is reshaping global business for good. As 2025 ends, the global economy faces its greatest uncertainty in decades. The world is split, US on one side, BRICS plus on the other. Will the conflict escalate, or will economic pain force a truce? One path: a fractured world of rival blocs, less trade, less innovation, more instability. Another: the shock leads to new negotiations and a reformed multipolar trading system. The future hangs on decisions made in Washington, Beijing, and beyond. The era of predictable, rules-based trade is over. We're in uncharted waters. The risk of global economic shipwreck is real. The world waits for leaders to find a safer course.